Okay, fuck, man. We are live. There is a chase. We are doing this up, okay? We are doing this fucking up. But, I don't have... There's no audio on this stream. I'm sorry about that. There's no audio. The WNBA game is just about the end. I was just watching that. Let's... This is on ABC 7. Okay. So, this is wild. Vic, welcome. Omar, Demetria, welcome. Sorry we don't have any audio on this, but we are watching a police pursuit. It is... Fox. It's on Fox. But Fox, here's the thing. Fox shares Fox shares a chopper with CBS at night. So CBS has the person with audio. But every time I get in this... All right, we're going to switch.
During a chase of a stolen vehicle, that there is this type of weapon in there. Generally, what we see with stolen car chases is that they'll run the plate comes back stolen, they'll try to pull the car over, and it takes off. But the fact that they have some pretty specific information about what this person may have...
all right, I am flustered around right now because I had a bunch of windows open, all sorts of shit going on. Okay. Richie, Mr. J Logic, Sean, what's up, guys? Nash, what's up? Sasha, Filski.
It is a ghost gun before the gun is even in custody. You're exactly right. Perhaps that gun was in the car and the car owner just admitted it to authorities, or there must be much more to this. That suspect must be known.
There must be much more to it. I'm on the wrong scene.
Here we go. Look, it's slowing down just a little bit, Des. What's happening right here?
Okay, we're good to go now.
Back on the freeway here. So we were eastbound on Valley Boulevard, which is
looks like there's some traffic here.
Section here of the El Monte area. Now we're heading northbound on the 605.
So they think there's a gun in the car. It's a stolen car.
So we'll see how the suspect decides to handle this. If they start getting on the right-hand shoulder,
take everything they say with a grain of salt.
Thinking about it here, yep,
as usual.
Here. So stacking up as we're coming back to the interchange we just went through there with the 10 freeway. Zigging and zagging a little bit. This is definitely the slowest.
I'm leaving for TwitchCon tomorrow afternoon, and I was just thinking one moment ago, man, it would be nice if I had some content to like post on YouTube while I was gone, put some shorts up, so maybe we can get something out of this chase.
The northbound 605 heads up towards the
I might have some
freeway in the Duarte,
I don't know.
Bradbury area. So we're definitely well.
Hey, Short in the Dark, welcome.
This is a light pursuit
EK, Chi Mashed, what's up, guys?
We were talking about the fact that...
Oh, Danger, you're going to be at TwitchCon. Awesome.
Hear the fact that this person may be armed with possibly a ghost gun, as Mike Rogers at the desk was alluding to. I mean, that definitely, Ross...
What is a ghost gun?
For these officers. I mean, we're not talking
the fuck does that mean? I don't think I've ever heard of a ghost gun.
Exactly.
Do they? Is that just mean like it's a gun that you have for October? Like they're just in the mood for like Halloween and shit?
And the stakes are even higher, knowing that the suspect is currently armed, even regardless of what the weapon might be.
No serial number. Untraceable.
605 northbound flight here, reaching into the 80.
No, I won't be going to LA. I'm going back to Nashville after Vegas.
Quickly again. The only good thing I can say about this, Mike and Desmond, is at least the traffic is loosening up. Fewer people in danger. Looks like is he on an off ramp there again, Des?
So the reason. All right. So they were speculating that maybe the person they stole the car from had the ghost gun, because how else would they know that? Right? Like, how would they have that specific of information about someone in a stolen car unless the original owner told them that? Is a ghost gun legal? Most in California, you can't have a gun that's like untraceable, like legally, right?
The suspect seems really keen on sticking with the freeway, so let's see if that's what they do indeed. Look at that, right back on southbound. So, you know, we heard about
just
this
turned
earlier,
around.
As I recall, when we heard about it in Ontario, I think I heard they were
it's not legal anywhere. Okay, so if you got your car stolen, would you call the police and say, hey, by the way, I have a very illegal weapon in the car? If that's not where the information came from, then I can't imagine where it did come from.
kind of slowed down here for the moment. Since they got off the freeway there at South El Monte, the tone seems to have shifted a little bit. Not seeing those 110-mile-an-hour speeds. In fact, down to just 55 here at the moment. Little psych out there at the last second, like they were going to try to get off the freeway. Very common tactic with these suspects to try to kind of pull a last-second maneuver. But CHP, they're right back there. That's
All right, we got the night sun at
So
least.
now we're going south of, actually over the 10 freeway, and now we are getting towards El Monte, City of Industry, and the city of Whittier, southbound 605.
Yeah, and as we continue on the freeway, as you're watching this live here on KCAL News, this is breaking news of a pursuit of a stolen car. We believe the person inside this car, we don't know how many people, but we believe at least
And
one
what happened to
person
the
in this car
WNBA
is
game?
armed, possibly with a ghost gun. I want to bring in Mike Rogers at the desk now to talk about
I think the
various
Aces
ways that
won.
this car can be stopped by CHP officials, Mike.
Yeah,
You know, we
Aces
always
won.
talk about
Okay.
the fact that when we're going this fast on the freeway,
WNBA season over.
forget it, really. Pit maneuvers,
Aces
spike
took it.
strip.
Yeah. Pit maneuvers is out of the question here. A spike strip.
No
maybe,
surprise there.
Des and I have talked about this a lot.
Hey,
There's
dude,
not a
welcome.
ton of
Good to see you.
opportunities to do a spike strip on a freeway because of all of the other vehicles. The freeway's very wide. You know, it's really hard to cast that net on a freeway. And the other issue is that he keeps getting on and off the freeways, which doesn't leave them a lot of room to get ahead of him to deal with this. So unfortunately, we may be in a
Mr. J
situation
Logic,
where they're just
Grizzlies
gonna
aren't
wait
my
for this
team
guy to
anyway.
Give it up, run out of gas, something like that. But I also want to point out that his odds of getting away
Hannah,
from
what's
law
up?
enforcement are very quickly dwindling because we now have Air 22 from the Sheriff's Department overhead, San Bernardino's 40 King is overhead, and CHP's helicopter is on the way.
And
so
Mike,
he's
yeah.
going to have 3 sets of eyes on him just from the air soon.
Exactly.
Oh, probably
And
more than that. I imagine
you
Eliana's
mentioned
on the
that
way too.
The suspect is armed. There is virtually no chance that authorities are going to call off the search and just let this run its course when there's an armed suspect speeding triple digits down the highway.
And that also, it's a good point, Ross, that also really limits their opportunity.
Yeah,
to
my
do a
team
pit
is the
maneuver.
Bulls, and yeah, I
The
will
last
be
thing they
playing
want is
fantasy
to
this
spin
year
somebody around,
with
have
some
them
people that I
facing
work
the
with.
officers when they have a really good reason to believe that they're armed. That's not something they ever want to put themselves in a situation. So again, that really is going to limit
Where's
their
my
options
water?
here, especially
Anyway.
as we stay on the freeway.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not
go
getting
check
up.
out
I'll miss
Desmond
something for
Shaw
sure.
live in SkyCal for a look now. Desmond, where are we now?
So we just crossed the.
Hey,
60
Tim, what's
freeway.
up?
We're still blasting along the southbound 605. Got up to 95 again at one point. So just wondering if this suspect is, trying to formulate a plan or something, and then buy themselves a little bit of time. Sometimes we see that. Maybe they're on the phone with someone trying to.
Somebody's
see
car
if
alarm was
someone
going
can
on,
come out, or
going
if
off
they
outside
can
my
go to
house.
Some area where they think that they can, ditch the vehicle and have an advantage to get away from the authorities. But yeah, 3 sets of eyes from the air, not even counting our eyes from the air, all of the ground assets as well. So like Mike said, a pit maneuver almost certainly not in the offing. If they were going to do spike strips on a freeway, it would not be when we're talking about speeds like this. Whenever we've seen those,
There ain't no way
speeds
they get a
lot of
spike strip
time
off on
with
this. You just got to
pretty much
follow him. That's the
traffic
only
if they're-
option.
Or if they're driving much more docile, I guess.
Yeah, man, I know the Lonzo
going
thing,
at the
it
speed
looks so
less
good
than
for a
60
bit, you
on the
know?
side of the road.
Yeah.
When you have someone going
I'm a
90
fan of
miles an
his.
hour and getting on and off the freeway, changing directions, very, very unlikely that we're going to see
Jimmy
that.
Opa, welcome.
Authorities' best chance here is that this person, if this was carjacked or however, that it does not have much gas in the tank, and that they're going to.
Hey, we got the out of gas.
Rather than later, that's most likely what CHP is hoping for right now.
And Desmond, I think all the time that we've been following this, we haven't seen, thankfully, any close calls with any other drivers. There's been no sideswiping, no sudden stops. This person has managed to maneuver on the side streets, thankfully, without getting in a jam so far. Is that what you've seen since the beginning now?
I would, yes, I would concur with that. Although we are seeing these really high speeds, they are pretty much sticking it to one lane, not changing lanes crazy or almost losing control of the vehicle or going between lanes. Not so far. We haven't seen anything dangerous.
Hey, Frank,
as far
what's
as
up?
that goes. It's really just the speed that has been the most dangerous factor so far in this pursuit. And wouldn't you know it, as is almost always the case with these pursuits, as we double in to see if we could get a look on the passenger side. Oh, look at that. They're even using their turn signal.
Aw.
They've got that tint, that what I've kind of dubbed the pursuit tint, because almost every single one of
Yeah,
these
every
vehicles in
car that
pursuit
gets into Chase
has
has
that
got
really
some
dark
tinted
tint, which
windows, dude.
precludes us from looking inside.
Especially if it's a
Another
newer
thing
car
that
like
law
this.
enforcement definitely hates to deal with in a pursuit. is not being able to see what's going on inside that vehicle.
Yeah, especially
Heading
when,
towards Disneyland? Oh, we might get a no-fly
passengers
zone.
inside that car. So again, we don't know how many people are inside this car. We don't know if it's just a single driver or perhaps with passengers. But we do know tonight that this person is possibly armed with a ghost gun, and the CHP has been in chase for that very reason. And this is originally a stolen car pursuit. So you got to think about what has happened before this. What happened
Tesla and
before
golf
this
carts
that
and
the
cement
CHP is after
dumping
this person
trucks, yeah.
and not letting them go, Ross.
You're right,
And
Merle.
let's go back over to Mike Rogers. Mike, are you hearing anything new about exactly how this began? We do have that unusual detail that there's a ghost gun involved. What do we know?
How the fuck do they know that?
How this started and where we first picked it up?
Yeah, I know the CHP is trying to work with the sheriff's office out in San Bernardino to get some of that information. There you see one of the helicopters in the shot right there providing that night sun. But what's happening right now is we've gone into now, this is the third area of CHP, their third office. So each time we go through this, you get a new set of officers, a new sergeant who wants new
I don't see any of the
information.
other news
It's happening
stations
kind
on
of
this.
quickly that we're transitioning through these different offices. So each person's trying to get caught up as we go, and that's what's happening right now. We're getting
This
into
is
the
it.
Santa Fe Springs area. We are still waiting to get back from San Bernardino Sheriff's exactly what happened, but I can tell you that the Ontario police helicopter that was overhead picked it up in the Ontario area, kind of near the Ontario Mills Mall out there.
Jay,
So,
tomorrow I'm
San Bernardino
flying to
Sheriff's
Vegas
Office
tomorrow
obviously has the whole county,
afternoon.
but they have an office specifically in Rancho Cucamonga. It could have been from there. It's not clear how long they were chasing it. I will tell you though that the San Bernardino Sheriff's helicopters usually get in the air pretty quickly. So the fact that the
Okay, here we
Ontario
go.
PD ship
Is he
picked it
just
up
gonna turn
leads
around
me to believe
again?
it probably started somewhere in that area.
Now, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's trying to get back on
Yeah.
after getting off the 605 right here. Des, is that your understanding? This is an on-ramp back onto the 605 northbound after a brief exit.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what the suspect's been doing throughout the duration of the pursuit, is just to go along a stretch of freeway, get off, and then reverse course on that stretch of freeway, and that's what we've done now, northbound 605. And this is the volume side, but again, we're well past, now that we're well into the 7 o'clock hour, the traffic starts to break apart. You might see a little bit of on and off slowing between here and the 10. We did see that earlier when we were in the south
Thanks,
Miami
Salt.
area. It just kinda
I'm really
seems
going
like
for the
suspect is
TwitchCon, but
trying
I'm
to
sure
buy
I'll
time,
I'll
trying to
gamble some
formulate
money
a plan, not making a really serious,
when that YouTube
really
payout
desperate
comes
attempt
through this
to get
weekend. I'll
away
fucking
from
gamble that shit.
authorities. I mean, yes, we have seen some high speeds, but we haven't seen any of the other really reckless behavior that we often see, driving in the center divider at 90 miles an hour, or on the right-hand shoulder, or wrong way on a surface street.
Hey,
We haven't
Vic,
seen
what's
any
up?
of those tactics, or really kind of desperate measures now, but we do still have the speeds. Still, I've kind of been going only a little bit above the speed limit. We have seen little bursts of 90 to 100 miles an hour. Actually, I'm not even sure that we've seen 100 over the last 10 minutes or so.
Merle, I wish I was gonna be going to LA, but
You know, and
no,
I have to say, Des,
I'm not. I'm just going to Vegas.
it is somewhat unusual. I haven't seen it in a while, but this driver using some turn signals here. And as you say,
Yeah, Vic, I'll
very
probably get
importantly, not
there
going down the wrong
around the
way,
same time as
not
you.
getting
I'll
too
be
close to
there
cars. You gotta
like
take
2,
the
3
good
o'clock in
points
the
of all this
afternoon.
bad, where you can, but the bad news is the suspect is believed to be armed. The suspect is driving a stolen vehicle itself, possibly a weapon.
Yeah, don't jump in the
Police
foam
are
pit.
unable at these speeds to successfully and safely use a pit maneuver or use spike strips. That's very unlikely. So we're in this for the long haul.
Hey,
As
Queso,
they
what's
just
up?
Try to wear this person down. There's almost no chance of them calling off a pursuit of an armed suspect.
Oh
fleeing in a
shit, he's
stolen
hit the
vehicle.
gas there.
And you just wonder, what they're thinking right now, as they exit sometimes off surface streets and they get back onto the freeway. Are they thinking maybe when they exit those surface streets that they might lose officers for just a second?
No,
even,
they're
and
not
maybe
thinking
try
that.
to do that and then get
They're
back to the
definitely
freeway,
not
of course,
thinking
being
that.
on surface streets, as we were talking about with Mike Rogers at the desk, putting spike strips out and pit maneuvers, obviously easier at slower speeds on surface streets, but the conditions have to be, good on surface streets as well. There's got to be a clear path for them to do all of this. So, him or her getting back on the freeway once again, off and on, that's certainly not helping that situation.
And we all day long have been airing an investigative piece about the number of car thefts skyrocketing 25,509 car thefts last year. All of these car chases, virtually all of them, are stolen cars.
25,000 stolen cars?
See, not every stolen car is a car chase, but we're seeing more car chases because, frankly, there are more stolen cars.
Actually, I don't think we're
Fortunately, in
seeing more car
2023,
chases.
we're seeing
At least the
slight
news is
decrease
not
in the number of
making
auto
it to
thefts.
more
Hopefully,
car
we'll
chases
start
than they
seeing
have in the
fewer and
past. It's
fewer
pretty similar
chases
to
like
how
this,
it's
but
been
tonight, the chase
all
is
3 years
still
that I've
on.
been
This one's
doing
been
this.
going on for at least 20 minutes. If you're just joining us here on KCAL News, this is a stolen Nissan. The suspect driving is believed to be armed with what we think and have been told by authorities is most likely a ghost gun. How we know that, the specificity of a possible weapon in this car is still unclear. But
Still
authorities
unclear how the
are
hell they could know
just out of
something
frame,
so
following
specific.
closely behind. This
Eliana's
car
there
being
now?
racing
Grand Poobah, thank
down
you.
the 10, now the 605
Thank you.
south,
I've been
getting
refreshing
on,
that page for a
getting
while.
off, getting back on.
Now
at
she's there.
Speed sometimes topping 100 miles an hour.
And we've covered a lot of ground.
Would you guys
here,
like to
know,
switch?
possibly
I
some
prefer the
transition
NBC
actually
thing.
has been on, and Mike was
I
saying
prefer
that,
NBC,
this
NBC,
stuff actually
but
doesn't actually pick this up in the Ontario Mills area. And now
this
we're
angle right now is better.
here in the East San Gabriel Valley. That's a lot of ground we cover so far, going back and forth on the 605, no less.
Which also always makes me wonder.
The NBC feed always has like very little
Right, not
graphics
that
on the
we know
screen,
maybe
and
they don't
I
even know
have
either,
graphics
but
of my
we've
own
seen
on the
situations
screen,
where people,
so I'd like
kind of have
less,
a clear
you know?
idea of where they want to go, a certain neighborhood, maybe that they're familiar with or whatever, and they go straight there.
Prefer
This
Stu,
person
man,
has
he
not
only
done
works
that.
in the
He's been
day.
On and off the freeway, the up and down the 605.
Okay,
You know,
let's
we're kind of
switch.
now
She's a
making our way
couple
back to the
seconds
way we
ahead
came.
right
so we'll
now.
see if he ends up going back
let's
eastbound
switch
towards San
over,
Bernardino
fuck it.
County, where this whole thing started. And it's just, you know, it's hard to tell if these guys just think that let me drive long enough and eventually they'll get tired or get rid of me or what have you. But I can tell you that the CH.
Mr. Wiggly, no, I'll be in Vegas tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, we need Eliana. Let's get Eliana in the chat. Okay, she hasn't said a word since I switched over here, unfortunately. We switched and just lost it. We lost all audio. Too bad.
Yeah, so he's on the
Okay.
60 freeway going west, and the speeds there are really picking up. Now that he doesn't have too much traffic in this area right here coming through the Pico Rivera area. So at this point, he's trying to pick up the speed somewhat, but just as I say that, it looks like he's actually slowing down. So this, again, is a pursuit that started out in San Bernardino County with the Sheriff's Department out there. When they spotted this vehicle, it came back as a stolen car. They tried to pull the guy over, but he failed to yield, and the pursuit was on. Now, the other little additional tidbit of information that we have is that apparently whoever called this in said that the guy is armed with a ghost gun, which essentially is a gun without a serial number. Usually they're manufactured by people at home. So regardless, officers on this pursuit are going to treat this as if this person is armed. Whether or not he has it on him is unclear, but they're going to treat it as if he is armed. So we will likely not see a pit maneuver. We usually don't in these situations where the person may have a weapon, but they can try a spike strip. But he needs to have some sort of pattern to his driving where they can get the officers up ahead and try to deploy that out in front of him. But for now, he's westbound here on the 60
Dimitri,
freeway,
what's
coming
up?
To Rosemead. I'm just
Jeff
looking
and
up
Jeff,
ahead,
both Jeffs.
and it looks like traffic, at least in this direction, right
Stephanie
now, looks pretty
Stellany?
good. The opposite side of the freeway, though, the eastbound side of the 60.
Drop a
that's
link
down
of it. I don't
crawl.
want
There
to
might be an
close it
accident,
right
actually.
now,
So,
but if you go to
it looks like he's probably just gonna stay
NBCLosAngeles.com,
westbound 60 because
that's where I'm
we've
at right
seen
now.
him, get onto the opposite side of the freeway whenever he's encountered traffic, but he's really.
Man, this
he's
car's going
really
fast
driving
as
this car
fuck
hard
right
now.
now.
Look at that, over
He was not
100
driving this
miles
fast
an hour
before.
here, westbound 60.
If their thing is accurate.
Yeah, at this point we have no information to lead us to believe that anyone else is in there with him, but it's pretty hard to tell. These windows are darkly tinted, and with the car being stolen, officers aren't able to just run the plates and figure out who may possibly be in the car. So for that reason, at this point, they
Ember,
don't
what's up?
really have that information. And again, even the back window is darkly tinted. It's just hard to see. We haven't had a chance to look at the front.
Listen,
There's
all
a
the
chance
Simp
maybe
Mafia
we'll
people
be
are
able to sneak a
currently
peek and at least
having
know if
dinner
there's a front
in
passenger.
LA.
But for now, at least,
In downtown LA. I wish I was there, but I've been watching the stream throughout the night.
Westbound 60 at about 100
JT, I'd like
miles
to
an hour.
see the spike strip, so at least like they don't have to run over it, but you got to see it, you know? The only one that I do on the bingo card that just is
so
like
he's
the person has to
definitely,
say it
going
out loud
west,
is the gas one.
Sometimes when I'm so tight on the shot, it does, it does get a little bit confused.
How many cop
Correct,
cars?
yeah,
I
but
see
he
at
is,
least
westbound
4.
60, and coming up to
4,
Wilcox and Garfield, it's a shared exit.
5. Okay.
And more units of the California Highway Patrol are joining this pursuit. Earlier, I think I had 3 in the shot. Now we're up to about 6. Of course, we've also got the helicopter overhead. When we arrived on scene, it was the Sheriff's Department that was overhead with their helicopter. And again, this started out in San Bernardino, so unclear how long this really has been going on and whether this
Yeah,
driver
sure,
is,
you're right. I'm
holding
right
the
where I
gas
need
or
to be
not.
in this
I would
case.
venture to say, considering how long
If there's
he's
going to
been
be a
driving,
chase,
that
I
he
need to
does
be
it,
in this
but,
room.
how low he is at this point is, of course, unclear.
Dylan, I'm getting this from NBC. Yeah, I'm not sure what make of vehicle this is. Anybody got any idea? What type of car is this? Getting off the highway again.
Yeah, it's actually pretty empty going westbound on the 60 boat. It looks like we're not going to have to go west much longer because, yeah, it looks like he's about to exit here. So this, let me try to get you the exit. I believe we're very close to the Wilcox exit. Let me throw this up here real quick so I can take a quick peek. Oh, so it's Atlantic. Yeah, so we're at the Atlantic exit from the 60. And looks like he's going to go north. So going to go northbound on Atlantic. That's going to put him into Monterey Park. Monterey Park, of course, does have its own police department.
I
So
feel
this
like
could get
this is
involved,
going to end
but in
soon.
this case,
I
believe
forgot to do the
CHP is
prediction.
just going to stay on it. Even though the
forgot to
CHP
do
is
a
the police of
prediction.
our freeway systems, they're free to patrol.
How about we do a
street really in
30-minute?
California.
Wait, it
Oh,
may
this isn't
end
good.
right now.
This
Wait,
this
what?
pedestrian walking right past this pursuit vehicle.
Okay, let's try the
What are you
30-minute
doing?
prediction.
I mean, there's literally cops behind.
Did it
this
work?
guy, and he decides to just walk.
Okay,
right
it worked.
between
All
them.
right, gamble your channel points over on
People can
Twitch.
be very amazing
We are
sometimes, and
looking
it's
at,
just
is
so
it going to last for another 7 minutes is the question. Oh, analytic. Why am my audio delayed? Okay, there we go. Welcome, Analytic and his community. Welcome to this police chase straight in Monterey Park, California. They are pursuing a stolen vehicle.
Absolutely.
The
You
suspect
never
is
wanna get
believed to be
involved,
armed
and I understand
right
people
now.
want to help, of course, but people just don't have the right training. They don't have the resources that law enforcement does. They don't have the uniform. They don't have the weapons. They don't
Ran
have
that
everything
fucking
comes
stop
with it.
sign.
So
Let's
the
go.
best thing you could ever do if you ever encounter a pursuit, and we live in California, as you said, Colleen, so it happens to all of us. If you ever do encounter a pursuit, just move over to the right, let the pursuit go by, and then rejoin the flow of traffic when it's safe to do so. You never want to get involved because, as in this case, this guy is possibly armed, and you don't know how he's willing to use that weapon.
Dylan says Nissan. Mr. Wiggly says Honda. Hannah says Subaru.
Yeah, let me widen out. So it looks like
No
it's
notification.
right
Yo,
next to
Avis, if you
Ferdinand,
join my
and it
Discord,
looks like for the most part,
you
it
get
is a
the
residential
quickest,
area,
fastest,
a
best
mix of
notification
homes
possible.
and apartments, it seems like. And it is really interesting that he
Way
has,
faster than YouTube or
exited
Twitch
into
can
this
possibly
area
do
and
it.
has slowed down as much as he has. So that tells me a couple of things. Either he's lost, or he knows exactly where he's at, and he's perhaps just trying to phone a friend or a family member and is planning on ditching the vehicle and running into that property. We do see that often. Pursuits
Yeah, I have a
Through
guess
an
that he
area that a
knows where
driver
he's
is familiar
going.
with, so perhaps this area is familiar to
And
this
yeah,
driver,
Eddie, you're right.
even though he
Everyone's
started all
possibly
the way
armed.
out in Rancho
But
Cucamonga.
the person who called it in apparently told them that the person has a gun, and they were very specific about it, saying that not only do they have a gun, but they have a ghost gun, which is like unregistered,
Yeah, and,
like
those
homemade gun or
deputies,
something.
again, is going to be San Bernardino
Yes, it is,
County,
creep.
And they stayed on it for a while until they could get the California Highway Patrol behind the vehicle.
Hey, thank you for
Since it
following,
was on the
ZJ.
freeway, it just made sense for the CHP to take
It's
over
Eliana.
the police of our freeway systems here in California. So they're on it now behind him, and then of course they have the police helicopter overhead. And typically one unit of the original agency will stick with the pursuit. They'll usually trail behind, because when all this is said and done, this person needs to be taken back to the Rancho Cucamonga area, because that is where it all began. But definitely slowed down a lot.
Yeah,
I
we're
wouldn't
in
be
a neighbor-
surprised
I
if
feel
we
like this
saw
is
him
it.
Pull over and start running. It's typically
I
what
don't
we see when
know.
drivers start to
This
act
is
like
a
this.
weird.
So
I don't
it
know.
looks like he's really being very thoughtful about every turn that he's making here through this area, and is going to be coming up.
All right,
out
they
here
don't
onto
know
a
where the fuck they're
slightly
going,
bigger
man. You
street
wouldn't
here.
take that.
see
You
the
wouldn't
sheriff's
take those
lights on,
roads through that
overhead,
neighborhood
but we're
to just get back on
transitioning
this
right
road.
next to the freeway.
Right, you would
So
not do this.
if this guy is lost and he's trying to just get back
Avis,
on the
did you?
freeway, yeah, he's gonna have a chance
Hold
coming
on.
up here very soon.
You got to join my Discord server. I don't know. I might not have the link in the
Yeah, he's
in my YouTube description,
yeah, it
which
is
I
an
should.
alleyway, which, if you don't know this area, you wouldn't really know to go this
The
way.
fuck is going
unless
on
it's a
here?
dead end and this guy is simply lost. So I don't know why not. I wanna
You
see
start
where
driving
he
down
will
roads
get
like this,
shut
you're
up.
gonna
It's
get
drop him
fucked.
out onto the street. So I would venture to say that means he knows this area, and it put him right back out where we just were. So back out onto Riggin Street.
All right, there is
And,
an
this is
invite to the
California Highway
Discord
Patrol that is in
server.
pursuit. A possible stolen car, dark tinted windows. Maybe if I get lucky, I can sneak a peek out the front.
There may be a
but
command over
we
there
also
too.
didn't know what type of car this was.
I should
Looking at
check
it
that.
a little bit more closely now, I think it might be a Nissan, kind of like a Nissan Rogue, perhaps. Obviously, a newer
Nah,
model.
I gotta
the
set
car
that up.
itself, looks very nice, well taken care of, and really no damage.
Wait, it did
as a
work.
result of this pursuit.
Okay, there you go. There you go. It did work. Exclamation point Discord works on both channels. After so much time that he spent on the freeway, I'm surprised that he got off in general. Nissan Rogue. It's weird watching on
Yeah,
YouTube.
it's been going on for
I see you
exactly
over
an
there.
hour. We're essentially at 7:40, started at 6:40, so it's unclear how much gas he started with, and when did he steal this car? That's the other thing. Is this a situation where this guy stole this car a while ago and has been driving it as if he owns it? Or is it a situation where it was just a matter of an opportunity? You know, he saw the vehicle perhaps running somewhere, he jumped in, and whatever gas he had is what the previous or what the rightful owner had put into it. So at this
The
point,
previous
that,
owner.
information is unclear to us at this time. but
Mine now.
Still being very careful here as he makes his way
Possession,
through
whatever,
this, residential
9/10 of the
neighborhood
law.
that parallels the freeway. There's the freeway coming up there on the south
All right.
side of the
Is he
screen
going to
there.
get back on the
It
freeway?
looks like, if I had to guess, I'd say he's just trying to make his way to the freeway. Again, he'll have an opportunity here. coming up
Yeah,
very
you
soon.
could get on the freeway either direction right now. Nope. Oh,
Yeah, that
Merle
was his
said,
chance.
right. Maybe he's
So,
not the
he told
original
me,
thief.
I
Maybe
thought
he
he'd
stole it
try to
from
get
a
on
thief.
60,
Yep.
but, instead
The
he
previous
proceeded
thief.
south. He's on Gerhardt with a cross of Dewar Street, I believe.
Delay
So
on
this,
YouTube is almost like
Gerhardt, I
10
believe, is gonna be the
seconds.
bigger street. Yeah, so,
Really?
he continues to travel south and really not picking up too much speed, even though he's now out on a bigger street.
Really?
Again, that night sign
That's
that you
fucked
see
up.
is the Sheriff's Department overhead with the California Highway Patrol still in active pursuit.
Thank you, Avis. Where's the karaoke? Where are you from? Dude, this
They
is
could-
so
they could
weird at
do
this
it.
point.
Yeah, they could do it, especially since they obviously are going to have more information about this person than we do. So perhaps they have more information about.
Okay,
that
the answer
gun.
to the outcome of the
they could
prediction is
very well
yes.
try a pit, and of course, all of the officers will
Paid
just
out.
have their guns ready, guns drawn, the shields.
So now we're going to
in
try
case
out the
person
45
opens
minute.
Fire, but under most situations.
Okay, gamble your
typically
channel
wouldn't
points.
hit.
Will this last 45 minutes? Are we going to get another 15 minutes of this chase? I'm not sure we're getting another 2 minutes.
And continuing.
Those people in those cars are confused as fuck right now. Yeah. Yeah, Sean
so
says
we
that he used to
are
watch on YouTube. He
essentially-
switched over
we're
to Twitch
almost
because of
in
the
Los Angeles. In fact, I
that
believe we're
delay.
just
I don't know why that is, man.
entering
It's coming
East
from the
Los
same
Angeles.
source. I don't know
So
what
we're
the fuck
out
is wrong with
onto Whittier
YouTube.
Boulevard, which is the major street here.
Oh,
through the
Minnesota,
area. We
nice.
just made that westbound turn onto Whittier. A lot of people here through the area will be familiar with that Target that is just off of Whittier Boulevard. That's exactly where we're at. So essentially, if he continues headed west, he's going to run right into the 710 freeway. And usually this is a pretty busy area. You have a lot of people who are out and about. There's lots of food trucks typically on either side of the street. So,
Dimitri, I would think that the delay thing would
actually
come
venture to say
directly
he's sitting on
from
the freeway if he
me?
has any intention of getting
like
on
I
there.
don't know. What
Look
is
at
this person
that
doing?
Pedestrian, actually, it's a cyclist who was just trying to.
They looked
cross
at me
the
like
street
somebody
there,
was
and that
climbing
a
on that
pretty
truck.
close call. Just once he passed that cyclist, it looked like he picked up speed, so perhaps got a little bit nervous.
And
there
yeah,
as he
Sean,
close
you're
to
right,
that
but that's
person.
just a
But
function of the fact
residential
that
area of East Los
I've been
Angeles,
on Twitch
pursuit
for so
continues.
long.
The CHP in pursuit of this possible
I think
stolen
that's
car.
what it is. More people on Twitch know me. Dimitri, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm streaming on both platforms, so I mean, my settings I'm sending to these are the same, right? I don't know. I could look into that. But I assume it's out of my control.
Copy that, please. Buenas noches desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policíaca que se encuentra en el área del este de Los Ángeles. Esta es una persecución que empezó aproximadamente a las 6:40 de la tarde en Rancho Cucamonga con el departamento del alguacil. de
Rancho
San
Cucamonga.
La persecución continuó en la autopista 10 hacia el oeste hasta que la patrulla de caminos de California empezó a seguir a este conductor. El vehículo es un carro
What is
robado,
Trackmania
posiblemente
Turbo?
un Nissan Rogue blanco en color con por lo menos
Yeah,
obviamente
Merle,
una
you're probably
persona
right
adentro
then.
del vehículo. Al momento se cree que el conductor es un hombre.
Do you have
Pero
YouTube set to
esta,
ultra
como les
low
digo, es
latency?
una
I don't know.
persecución que ya ha
I could
llegado
check
a
that
más
out, but
de
I'm
una
guessing this
hora
is like a
y
known
ahora
thing
se
that people
encuentra en
deal
un
with.
área residencial del este de Los
I will look
Ángeles.
at that,
Pero
though.
cuando estaba en la autopista, este conductor estaba manejando a más de 100 millas por hora. Y como les digo, esta es la patrulla de caminos de California.
100
ahora está
millas
siguiendo
per
a este
hora.
conductor desde la tierra y desde el aire usando el helicóptero del departamento del alguacil del condado
Sí,
de Los
100
Ángeles.
miles per
Como les digo,
hour.
una persecución de un
110
carro robado,
miles per
donde
hour.
también se cree que el conductor posiblemente
Yeah, Larry, we got 4
está
squares,
armado
but
con una
I don't know that we're
pistola.
gonna get.
Entonces, claro que esto va a
All right, dude,
ser,
I will
una
check that out.
situación donde los
If
oficiales
that
van a
would make a
tener que
difference, I will
tener
definitely
mucho
make it as
cuidado
low as
cuando
possible.
esta persecución
if it's not
finalmente
already.
termine. Reportando desde el
I don't
este de
remember
Los Ángeles,
changing
desde
that.
el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52.
Would, yeah, we did actually. We gambled channel points on that. I don't know if the
Yeah,
I don't know if the
go
prediction
ahead.
is still up. It might be over now. Probably over now. Of what,
Yeah, back
Dimitri?
with
What
you
kind of
here,
link?
Colleen. He's still in a residential area of East Los Angeles. He's currently on Hubbard Street and School Avenue. And in the time that I was doing my Spanish report there, not a lot changed. Essentially, he's still driving, driving at around the same speeds. Still, treating this very gingerly, really, compared to some of the crazy driving we saw on the freeway where he was going more than 100
Okay,
miles
yeah,
an
sure.
hour at times.
I'll open it up.
And initially, I thought perhaps he was driving so slow because
Or I'll copy the
he was
URL.
trying to run into a home perhaps that he was familiar with.
Nautical.
But that was when he was in
It
Monterey
started
Park,
with
and now
a
he's in East Los Angeles, so now he's not even in the
a
same
theft, but
So
they
it's
didn't say
unclear to me if
exactly
perhaps
how.
he's just lost. and trying to work his way towards the freeway. But if he had any intention of that, he should have stayed on the majors, which in this case was Whittier Boulevard. That would have dropped him right onto the 710
Thank you.
freeway.
I will
But
look
in
at that
this
after the
case,
stream.
Go ahead. Yeah, there's that
Bendo, what's up?
saying that some people sometimes say is he's driving it like he stole it, but in this case, he's driving it like he owns it because he's being very careful as he makes his way over speed bumps. So at this
I
point,
got it already,
even
Mr.
though
Wiggly. I
he
got
has
it.
driven erratically at times. There's nothing wrong with the car. The car looks great. Hasn't been involved in any sort of collisions. All the tires are intact. And the only thing, that I'm thinking of is the gas. This pursuit has been going on now for over an hour, and so it's unclear exactly what he may have started with. The range on these cars, it's not terrible. I believe they're in the high 20s. I believe it's a Nissan Rogue, if I had to guess. And it does
Nissan
look
Rogue.
like a newer model, but he's still driving actually pretty carefully now that he's
Dimitri,
on,
I'm unsure
residential and surface
about what
streets here,
happens in
which
that
is a good thing compared to
situation.
some of the,
I
race
would
driving we
think
saw on
that,
the
yeah,
freeway,
the
but he just
police
made his way
would
back
cover
out
the
onto a
damages.
major. This is going to be Whittier Boulevard.
Man, that
So
would be
this
a
is what I
pain
was
in the ass
saying
to try to get
before.
that
If he
money,
has
though,
any
right?
intention of getting on the freeway, Whittier Boulevard's the street to be on because there's
Imagine
plenty
how
of
much time you'd have to
opportunities
wait
hop
to get
on,
that kind of
either the
payout.
60 or the 710 if he continues going west.
And yeah, it is picking up a little now. It's changing. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Doesn't that suck? I don't want to encourage
Yeah, that's
anyone to
correct.
necessarily
With the
leave
windows being
YouTube and
as
come to
darkly
Twitch or
tinted
anything,
as
but a
they are,
10-second
it's
delay is
really
fucked.
hard to see him. We haven't really had a good chance to look through the front window at this point. So at this point, it's unclear if there's more than one
Yeah, Saul,
person
you're
on
right. Please don't
board,
cover
but
shit.
The one thing that we know is possibly on board that, of course, is of concern is that ghost gun.
Yeah, so the insurance wouldn't cover it, but you would think
Apparently,
if the
whoever called this
police
in,
fuck your car
said
up in the
that this
in
person
the
was armed with a ghost gun.
in
So for
the
those of you who may not be familiar
pursuit.
with that terminology, it's essentially a gun. It's a full functioning gun. The only difference is it doesn't have a serial number. A lot of people will build those at home. It's a lot more difficult now, but
you'd at least have a
least
court
year
case
ago
on
or
your hands
so,
there.
You used to be able to buy what's called the 50% lower. So that's the lower part of the weapon. You could buy that without a serial number and then essentially build your own weapon. There's been some laws and
Damn,
actions that
Eliana
make it more
knows about the
difficult
fucking
now, and
laws.
of course, ghost guns in and of themselves are just illegal, but it's a full functioning weapon.
If the
So for
owner
that
has
reason,
comprehensive
officers,
coverage, then their
be very
insurance covers
careful
it. If not, they
when
can
this
request
pursuit comes to an end.
compensation from a victim's fund or sue the PD. Okay. Thank you, Merle. We're in a parking lot now.
Absolutely, and of course, stolen car as well. And he just
Parking
made
lot
his
not
way into
generally
this,
not a good idea
shopping
during a
center,
pursuit.
and he
Do
pulled
not
a
recommend
non-sticker.
going into
I
a
mean,
parking
these
lot.
officers are going to every exit and entrance, so he may possibly get surrounded. I believe this is that big shopping center I was talking about before with the Target, and then just to a little east of that. Oh, here you go. Officers they're trying to box them in, but
that guy
that
getting the fuck out of the way.
opportunity to, reverse. There you go.
Smart.
Okay, so more officers coming in from every direction.
Whoa,
but
they are
unfortunately,
everywhere, man. They're
not
like
enough.
little
It
ants
looks
just
like he's
crawling
gonna be
all
able to
over
get
the
right
place.
back on Whittier Boulevard. This is going to put him back towards the east.
Yeah, nautical. I think about that a lot though. And if this was your car, you would definitely want that. Definitely. But I mean, if you had comprehensive coverage and you had a shitty car,
Absolutely. So at this
maybe
point,
you could get
they have a
your
few
car
options. They could
totaled and
essentially
get
just
another
wait
one.
this guy out. They could try to deploy some spike strips. But yeah, with the pit maneuver,
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
what
have
I'm
to be
saying,
a little
Saul.
bit more,
Exactly. You'd
careful
want it
about
totaled
that,
or you want it
because
back in the
is
same
armed. They wouldn't
condition
wanna
you
put
lost it.
The officers in a situation where they make this guy spin out, and then they could potentially be nose to nose with this
XA2,
armed
what's up?
person. So for that reason, they're going to be essentially just more careful in that sense, and just continue to trail this guy as long as they need to. Of course, this isn't a situation where they can let
Hey,
this guy go.
thank you, Trophy.
There
You know,
have been times, especially
the
in
last
recent,
chase we watched, they actually literally
recent
ran out of
past where
gas.
officers will let
And,
the
you know, that could
vehicle
happen
go,
here.
knowing that
Like,
can
they
get this
literally
person
ran out of
no
gas the last
time.
time we watched
But
the
in
chase.
this case, because the person is possibly armed, they simply just can't. but made a U-turn there on Whittier Boulevard as he was entering Montebello, but going to be heading back into East Los Angeles. Yeah, so now he's headed back west, so back towards that shopping center that we were just at, and really picking up the speed here. And as I mentioned before, Whittier Boulevard is always a really busy street, one of the busiest major streets here through the area. There's always lots of pedestrian traffic. There's a lot of food trucks that park on either side of the street too, so you have a lot of pedestrian
Not to mention
traffic.
how it
And,
smells when you get it
I think
back.
he might
Yeah.
have just thrown something out. I thought I saw something go fly. I did. It was something brown, perhaps some sort of box or something. So I didn't see it come out the passenger side, so he probably threw it out the driver's side window. And I'm gonna push.
He
in
threw
here.
something
Yeah,
out the
looks like
window?
his window's down. Yeah, so driver's side window is down. So
I
that's
didn't
how
see
that
it.
item went flying. I
But hey, that's on our
guarantee you
bingo card.
CHP officers behind him are collecting whatever that was.
I don't know why you'd throw a box out in this moment. I don't know what you're thinking you'd accomplish there, but
Yeah, so it looks like they're off. Yeah, looks like they're off, but he's been running red lights, running stop signs. In this case, wrong side of the road here. So he seems to be growing increasingly more desperate. I think
Hey,
is the
Vino,
best way
what's
to
up?
put it. When he was on the freeway, obviously he was high speeds, but then when he entered those first residential areas in Monterey Park and East Los Angeles, he was driving a lot more calmly. But now I think now that he sees all of these units that are directly behind him and coming at him really from all directions, it seems like the desperation level is starting to go up. And continuing westbound here, Whittier Boulevard at Goodrich. So that means that we're not far from the 710. So if he has any intention of getting back on the
You're
freeway,
right,
there's an
analytic.
opportunity coming up. Yeah, it's surprising that there's not as much pedestrian traffic today because normally this is a really busy area, especially on the weekends. On a Sunday, this area is packed. But of course, during the week, it's going to be just a little bit lighter. But he just made that turn onto Atlantic Boulevard, which is another major here through the area. It runs parallel to the 710 freeway, so he still has plenty of opportunities to try to get on the freeway if he chooses to do so. That was just a northbound turn. So yeah, northbound turn on Atlantic. So this is going to take him towards the 10 freeway. If he stays on
yeah, maybe he's
Atlantic,
rushing to
but
the
that's
sausage
not
party.
what he's going to do because he just turned. Yeah, he just turned there onto 6th Street. So
Okay.
6th Street near Atlantic. Which
Man, I
is,
feel like
I
he's just
believe, becomes
wandering.
residential
For a minute, I
as we,
thought maybe he
go,
knows where he's
eastbound.
going. Maybe he's got a plan, but at this point,
no.
there's no fucking way.
Oh,
Whoa, that's a
no.
big
Yeah, that
shopping
was,
cart.
It was a pedestrian in the middle of the roadway. Someone who was apparently collecting recyclables. It looked like they had a lot of black bags with cans and the such. So that person was right in the middle of the street. So fortunately, he did see them and was able to avoid hitting them, of course. But that's the types of things that
No,
really
Stealthy
make
hasn't
noise
hit
pursuing on
anybody
the
or
freeway,
really
because
put
obviously we
anybody
have pedestrian
near
traffic, we're not
danger. I
cross
mean,
traffic
it's
stoplights or red lights because he's clearly not.
there.
not a
This
big
hasn't
deal.
been like a very dangerous. Like this chase has not made me nervous
Yeah,
at
this
any
is a
point.
residential area. Looks like it's mostly apartments. Yeah.
Man,
Looks
you're
like,
gonna hit a
almost like
fucking dead
duplex
end. You keep
style
driving
homes,
around on roads
but
like
if
this.
he continues going here, he'll get back out onto the major. So there you go. So he's now back onto Whittier Boulevard.
Hit the gas.
Yes, I actually did catch him, and yeah, I'm sure that pedestrian heard the units because these officers are running what's called Code 3. So that is with their lights and sirens. So that person likely heard the sirens. If he didn't hear the sirens, he saw him. So he was able to run across the street quickly enough. But again, Whittier Boulevard. So we're still by that Target that I keep referencing because that is the biggest street here, or the biggest store here through the area. And he's basically he keeps running in front of that store. So running east and westbound on Whittier Boulevard.
Shout out to the
Furthest,
Target on
eastbound here
Whittier.
was Montebello before hanging a U-turn and heading back towards East Los Angeles.
Oh,
Oh no.
what was that? Oh, there's a spike strip there. I bet. You see that cop car that was parked in the in that parking lot? I didn't see the spike strip, but it seemed to me like that would make sense. But then the cops drove. I don't know. That's what it looked like, right? I mean, there was a cop. There was a cop right there, in that parking lot. Man, you're gonna hit it. One of these streets is gonna be a dead end.
Yeah, and I actually talked to an LAPD officer about this because I was wondering, how do they rack up the charges? Like, do you just say, oh, he ran stop signs? But no, it's actually every single offense needs to be documented. So the officers, of course, do have their body-worn cameras, so they are able to reference that when they're writing the report after the fact. Because once this pursuit is done, these officers don't get to go home. They have to go back to the station and they have to write their report before they can go home. So what they do is they can't.
Yeah, Eddie, it would
how am
be. I
saying
mean, we could put the
they,
spike strip on if that's
do
what it
reference
was. I'm
their
just not
body-worn
positive.
cameras so that they can see the recording of what went on.
But
And
yes,
of course,
failed
they're
spike
also
strip
trying
is.
to, document
Oh,
as
the
they're
prediction
driving, they're
was
also trying to
yes.
document everything that is going
The
on.
chase
They, of
did
course,
last
have
for
communication
45
with the
minutes.
dispatchers
Okay,
so
all
they
right.
can also use
Congratulations to
their
all
notes
of you
to
who said
reference
yes.
that.
Probably,
But
I don't know
every
how many
stop
of
sign,
you
every red light
would. I
that
would have
he
said no.
is running across,
I definitely would have said
everything is
no.
documented, and
But
everything
anyway, we're
ends
gonna
up in
run the
that report.
60-minute
So
one
it
now.
does take these officers hours after this pursuit is done to finally get to go home.
Yeah, that last one did have a lot of them. I should maybe
So
I
he's
should go
still
make
in
some
East
clips
Los
from that.
Angeles. Again, residential area of East Los Angeles, just off of Hayes Street.
I'd have to do that in
and
the next
Garfield
couple
Avenue.
hours.
Garfield's going to be the major, and he's going to come out to that right now.
But it would be nice
And
to
at
have
this
some
point, it
clips
looks like he's just gonna go
auto-post
right
while I
out
was
through.
out of
So we're gonna
town.
continue northbound on Hayes Street.
One of my, you know the video,
And,
guys, you
we're not
remember
sure
the
if
chase
Sheriff
where the guy had the
Morris- so at this
flag
point,
out
the
of
Sheriff's
the
Department could take over the pursuit if they
sunroof
wanted to,
and a
but it
pedestrian
looks like
stopped
he-
him? Like, I mean, not a pedestrian, but a
pretty comfortable,
civilian in a
handling this,
truck
even though
stopped
it's
the
on surface
chase.
streets. And,
That video
Woodland Boulevard,
is
which
popping
we're on
off
for a
right
lot.
now. A lot of people are
Woodland
watching the
Boulevard is actually-
video
a portion of that is actually patrolled
of
by the
that,
CHP anyhow, so
that
they're just
civilian
gonna stay
stopping
on
the
it for
chase.
now. But again, residential area here, entering Montebello. So just left East Los Angeles and now in Montebello.
Maybe some of you saw it.
Yeah, so still in a residential area. I can widen out. I'm pretty confident we're not going to lose them with all these units behind it. But yeah, residential area, and I just kind of want to widen out, see what the area looks like. Yeah, no. So this is going to be residential. Looks like for quite a while as he heads into Montebello. And so he's right
Speed
next to
bump,
Montebello,
fuck it.
Monterey Park, East Los Angeles. I believe that darkness actually that I'm seeing there on the left side of the screen, that's actually the golf course. So Montebello golf course was that darkness there. So yeah, so he's right next to that, and he's continuing to the north, so that will drop him off. Yeah, so there's Wilcox, and then the further north that he goes.
Yeah,
it's
you're
gonna put
right,
him
Merle.
onto the
Maybe
60
Young will
freeway,
just
so that'll
suddenly
be
get a
his chance to
dono.
get
They
back
will
on the
send him to
freeway if,
TwitchCon
he has
tomorrow.
any intention of heading back towards the Rancho Cucamonga area.
So I think he arrived on Friday last year.
Yeah, and he seems to have slowed down just a touch right now.
And yeah,
So I
that
would
civilian
venture to
was
say if he
brave
doesn't really
and
know where he's
also
at, perhaps
stupid.
He's just trying to look down at his phone or something and figure out where the on-ramp's going to be. But he just
Looking to
ran that
meet
red.
anyone? Yeah,
So
I mean,
he's right
just a
under
lot
the
of the same
freeway,
people,
so
but
I
also
think he might
CM's
try
going to
to
be
get on
there
the
as
freeway,
somebody
so
that I
I'll
haven't
widen
met
it out.
before.
Let's see.
So looking
Nope.
forward to meeting
So he
him
had a
finally.
chance, to get on the 60, but he's just going to continue north. So northbound on Wilcox Avenue, north of the 60 freeway.
A lot of the other people I can think of that I'm looking forward to meeting, I met last year. Looking forward to seeing them again.
A chase like this could actually be a couple years, but then at the same time, you have to consider what county is going to prosecute this driver. So
And Danger
pursuit
Tater.
started in San Bernardino County, so the prosecutor out there would be the one responsible for.
All right, Mr.
actually
Wiggly, that would
filing
be
the charges
badass.
and prosecuting this person. Even though we've been in LA County for a good portion of the pursuit, I believe that all of the charges would come from San Bernardino County. So a chase of this nature, the person could likely see just a couple years. The good thing is he hasn't hit anyone, obviously, so this hasn't really been a hit-and-run situation.
Just
He
a couple
hasn't,
years. I mean, he stole the vehicle.
hurt
He
anyone
may
in that
have an
sense. Yeah, of
unregistered
course, he's been
gun,
running the
and
red
he's
lights,
been
running
running
the
from the
stop signs, so
police
you've got
for
that. You've got the
over an
reckless
hour.
driving. Of course, you've got the stolen car element.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
does have that ghost gun. That is also, I believe that could even garner federal charges.
Yo, Sean,
So,
Matt
you
made me
I
a
don't know,
mod in
this
his
person could
channel.
potentially be seeing a few years in jail.
Matt made me a mod. He talked to me one night.
Oh, absolutely. But as we were just commenting, this person is likely seeing a few years in jail, and we don't know what their background is. Is this a third striker? Is this someone on parole? All of that is going through his mind, and so this person
nice
could likely
tree.
know that they're seeing their last few minutes of freedom here. But it looks like
Is this gonna be it?
You see
Yo,
that
the tree is
pedestrian
in the
there.
way,
Yeah, so
man.
there's that pedestrian there, out and about. I don't know
Eliana,
if they
move
know
this
that
fucking
person in any way,
helicopter.
But the
Yeah. Why now? Why are you stopping now?
Yeah, the car is stopped, and we're just off of Fernfield Drive and Fulton Avenue. We haven't been over here before, but we're in Monterey Park. So at a complete stop here.
Ghost gun does sound
No
badass.
sign of having the door open, but the window.
I don't think it's a
down.
dead end.
Let me take.
He just randomly stopped here. Seems completely random to me.
Yeah, I believe that's a parked car. So yeah, parked car. Yeah, I believe all the cars around him are actually just parked cars. But we did see that one man who was wearing the white shirt, and then I believe I saw a woman on this side of the street, closer to the vehicle. So perhaps.
I don't think
as
he's
we were
talking to
saying
anyone. I think
before,
that car is
sometimes
empty.
Drivers do tend to return to an area that is familiar to them. So perhaps this is the area that this person is familiar with, whether it be his home or a friend's home or a family member's home, but just came to a
If you're
full
gonna stop
on
like
his
this,
own
you could
accord
stop
here.
fucking anywhere. It's
Just,
gonna be
in
the
this
same thing.
residential area
Stop
of
in front of
Monterey
your
Park.
friend's home. You could stop in the middle of anywhere. It doesn't make any difference. You're just going to jail. Who cares if your friends get
Yeah,
to
so
get to
these
come
are
out of their
all
house and
safety
watch you
officers.
go
I'm
to
looking
jail?
at the squad car doors, so that's how I'm able to tell. But the helicopter overhead is the sheriff's department when I last checked. But at this point, what they do is they make call-outs. So the officers will get on the loudspeaker and they will make call-outs. Sometimes even the helicopter will do it. And they'll also do it in both Spanish and English, just in case the person isn't English speaking. And, they
The
will be
person at the
very
stop
clear about their
sign,
message, about what they want this
I don't
person to
know.
do.
I
It
think that it's
typically
a
starts with
stringer.
throwing the keys out the window. That way
It's weird to me that the stringer just happens to be right there. Or no, it's a cop.
Throw the keys out, and then at that point is when they ask him to exit, and that's.
It's a cop.
You've seen the protocol: hands up, lift the shirt up, make sure there's nothing in his waistband. If he continues to not comply, they could threaten him with the police dog. They could say, "If you don't come out, we're gonna
Send a
go,
police
he's gonna
dog over
bite
to
you,
your
it's gonna
fucking
hurt."
car
And,
that you're
oftentimes
inside
just
of.
them
The
to write alone
dog's
is enough
the
to get
dog's gonna
people
come
to
over and
surrender.
open
At
that
this point,
car
they're not
door
seeing
and
a police
fuck you
canine
up.
on scene, but I can guarantee you. Yeah, I guarantee you that call has been made. Yeah,
They got
typically-
canine dogs that can open up car doors now, even if they're fucking locked. Fuck you. These these dogs are built different. No
Yeah,
gas. I
absolutely.
don't
They can
know.
really slow things down at this
It
point.
didn't seem
And,
like the car was
so
running out of
you might
gas.
be-
Like we
or
watched a
our
chase
viewers
just
might be
recently where the
wondering,
car
well, why
ran
not
out of
try to
gas,
box them in here?
and they
Why
drove
not bring some other squad
extremely
cars in,
slow
put 'em
for
in front of
like
them, that way it's guaranteed that
half
they
a
can
mile
go.
before
Well,
the car came to
issue
a
you
stop.
face there is
You
you
know,
have
like they
officers
drove
with
it
their
until it
guns drawn.
really
You have
ran
a
out
lot
of gas.
Officers, with their guns drawn, pointed at each other. And so for that reason, even though this may become a standoff situation, you're not going to see any squad cars approaching from the left side of the screen.
He
What
was
you might
driving
be
pretty
able to
slow.
see, though, is a Bearcat. So if this goes on long enough, then you would likely see, in this case, since we're in Monterey Park, they'd probably call
The girl
sheriff's
clown car. Yeah, Larry, I
which is
forgot
the
about that part of
Special
it.
Enforcement Bureau,
There
which
were
is
4 women in
equivalent
that
to a
car.
SWAT team. They'd likely call them out to bring one of their Bearcats and box this guy in, and then in that case, they would really slow things down, bring out the crisis.
I mean, I'm
number
gonna
two,
have to say
and try
no
to
on
get
this
guy
prediction, I
out
guess,
of
but
this
he could still drive away. So I'm afraid to scam you guys. I'm not gonna run
So
the.
we're
I'm
on
not gonna
a
end the
small
prediction
street
yet.
called Fernfield Drive.
He starts driving again.
The cross is Fulton Avenue, so Fernfield at Fulton Avenue. I'm gonna widen out the shot real quick. I want to see if I can catch a major here.
This
So
is
it
a
looks like
scene
that's
right
gonna be
here.
The freeway. So the nearest, let me get you the nearest cross, Wilcox. So 60 freeway at Wilcox is the nearest major.
They've only got
We're just on the south side of
a
that.
few cop cars. There were like 6 cop cars following him, but I only see 3
Not a
cop
lot has
cars.
changed.
Maybe there's cop cars at the other end of the street. It didn't look like it though. Why are there only 3? I don't know.
Oh yeah, no worries. Here, I'll throw.
Dimitri,
our,
I've
map
never
up here.
seen one where they
Thankfully,
start
we're
shooting
equipped with the best technology up here. There's our map,
real
Fernfield
guns.
Drive at Fulton
Seen them
Avenue.
shoot, but not like
It's a
real bullets.
residential area here of Monterey Park. A normally quiet residential area.
Nautical,
of
they
Monterey
won't
Park,
approach.
actually. And so to have
They will
something
not
like this
approach.
and, on this
They're
street
gonna
is-
stay where
is
they're at.
very out of the ordinary. But if you do live in this area, the best thing you can do is just stay inside. Of course, you're going to be hearing the announcements.
There's
from the
another cop
helicopter.
car.
They're likely going to tell you if you see anything suspicious to please call.
There's
911,
another one.
because this is a situation where this guy could easily take off running and try to hide in somebody's yard. So you do want to keep your windows and doors locked until the situation is resolved.
There were cops on the other side of the street. They will move the fuck out of the way if he starts driving, though. They're not going to try and get... They don't like to try and box people in if they know they're armed. You know, I saw this chase the other day, guys. I didn't get to stream it because as soon as I turned it on, it ended. But they were, like, ripping this dude out of the vehicle.
Yeah, so
Like,
typically
he
what they'll do is
stopped,
they'll make the
and they were
announcements on
fucking
the
out
helicopter and
ripping
very
him out of the
loud,
vehicle.
so very loud
It
and
was,
very
like,
clear.
really
As I
violent
was
and
saying
crazy.
before,
I don't know.
they'll
You
also
just
do it
don't
in
see that
Spanish
much.
as well,
I didn't
so
get any
that,
context because I
it's
turned it
clear that
on.
at least
When the
most,
news got there, it ended
people here in
immediately.
the area. So
But it
they'll
was
make
just
the
wild that I
announcements
turned on
both in Spanish and
I
English.
turned on the
Just
stream and it was
telling
like
people to stay
fucking
indoors.
them just
And,
ripping a
once
dude out
the
of a car
situation is
as
resolved,
soon
of
as it
course, I'm
stopped.
sure they would announce
It was
on here
crazy.
to let people know that it's safe to come outside. It could be a situation though,
Clip,
where
and they
sometimes
likely
you
will
have to
not block the
evacuate
front
at
of the
least
car
nearest homes.
because
And
they
if
believe
do,
this person
have
is
to do that, then
armed,
you would see the
and
officers
they
go
don't
door to
like
door
to do that.
and
It's not
evacuate the
very
people. But in this case, the best thing
it's not very good
residents in this area
idea
can do
to
is
try and
stay
just like
inside. But as I
box
say
in
that, I'll
someone
just
who's
move the
armed.
shot
It
over
could
slightly
just
to the east where you'll
it just
see
isn't
our
worth it. You
people,
know, it
of
could
course,
really
can
turn
help them
the
out and take a look at what's going on.
Oh, he's
But
driving.
There you go. It looks like
He's driving.
As I moved the camera, the car took off. So there
Okay.
you go. It looked like he was not
Good thing
out
I
of
didn't end the
gas.
prediction.
And,
Haha.
you saw everyone scrambling. The street is blocked up ahead, though, so let's see how far
They're
he
gonna get the
gets.
fuck out of the way,
That's
dude.
Monterey Park Police
Yeah.
right there. But they didn't try to box him in. Again, this guy's possibly armed, so that's really what makes
Yeah,
it
they don't want to
difficult
block them in
to-
when they're armed.
to
You
try
just
to
don't
box
want
him
to
in
force
if
anything.
he wasn't armed. So it is a much
They
more
don't block
dangerous
people in
pursuit
very
than
often
what
at
we
all.
typically,
But like I was
see,
saying, they don't
unfortunately,
approach
because this
cars and
guy's
pull people out of them
potentially
very
armed.
often, and I just saw it a few days ago.
I missed your question, Colleen. Go ahead.
Why didn't they spike strip? That's another thing where they would have to get pretty close to the vehicle, and they just want to keep their
he very well
distance.
could have been trying to figure out how to get out of this situation because there really hasn't been a pattern to his driving. He was on the freeways before, of course. When he
Yeah,
came out of
Richie's
San
right. There's a
Bernardino
bunch
and
of people
into
out there.
Monterey,
There's
but now
homes
that
right
he's
there. You
been
don't
in
want
the
to
Monterey Park,
do
East LA
anything that
area,
might, like,
he's kind of been all over the place. He really
raise
hasn't
the
gone on
tension
same
any
street
further.
twice, other than when he was on Whittier Boulevard a couple times. But in terms of small streets, he really hasn't picked one, which leads me to believe
Yeah,
that he
Scentless
probably
is
doesn't
fucking
know
up the
where he's
predictions.
going. But again,
Good
fuel
thing I'm in
situation
charge of it.
is a
Scentless is
factor.
busy tonight.
That
Scentless is
it's
live
been
on Twitch
almost
right
an
now.
hour and a half, and we don't know what he started out with. The car appears to be a newer model Nissan Rogue, white in color, tinted windows. I haven't really gotten a good look at this guy, but his window is down, so this might be my chance.
Pretty hard. Looks like his arm is white. He's got his arm out the window now. You can see him now. Eliana, zoom in
and
now.
I believe that's his arm. Yeah, I believe that's his arm that's gesturing. So it's unclear if, I mean, there's a possibility this person could be under the influence of something, but for the
Definitely
most part, their driving has
possible.
been great. So I would venture to say that they're probably
Almost
pretty
60 minutes.
sober,
Yeah, we're almost
considering how
there.
They've been driving, but clearly gesturing there. Unclear what the thought process was behind that, but we're back. Still in
And then
Monterey.
I'm actually going to have to
As we,
open up.
sum
I
up,
don't
it's still
even
in a
think I
residential
have
area.
on my stream deck. I don't have a thing set up for the 75-minute. Maybe I should. It just happens so rarely that I end up doing that. I wonder why he stopped. He was stopped for like at least 5 minutes, right? Like probably more like 10 minutes. Maybe somewhere in between there.
Yeah, that's what really makes this so dangerous, because by now they would have done a pit. I mean, he's not going that fast. The speeds are pretty much perfect for a pit. The street here isn't very congested either, so normally by now we would have seen that, and it just hasn't happened because of that possibility that he is armed. But you see the traffic is somewhat slow.
Playing
here
an
through the
unsightly
area.
car.
He doesn't really like to wait for traffic. We've seen him go on the wrong side of the road to dodge that.
Yeah, King, you might be right. He was maybe communicating with people. And whoever he was talking to on the phone was like, "Fuck it, keep going."
Since he exited the freeway, Yeah, so that was Garfield at Wilcox, and he's paralleling the 60 freeway. So we'll see if he tries to get on. It doesn't seem like he wants to get back on the freeway though, because he's had plenty of chances.
Fuck it, just keep
and,
going.
Every time he just goes right past. He goes right past him. Yeah, there actually was. They actually did try a spike strip earlier, and I didn't
Okay,
have
it was
chance
a
to
spike
mention
strip.
But you might have remembered,
It was a spike
that
strip.
there
Okay,
was
prediction
a
is up
time when he
now.
was on Whittier Boulevard, and he
75
kinda
minutes. Is
swerved,
this
pretty
chase going to last
erratically.
75 minutes? We got to
did,
go
out of the
another
corner of
15
my
minutes.
eye, I did catch that they had thrown a spike strip, but he was able to dodge it with that evasive maneuver. So at this point, we believe that all tires are
Yeah, controller,
fine.
what's up?
He was able to dodge that one, and they haven't tried any since. But now that we know that they've tried them, that they, when he's on Whittier Boulevard is probably a good time to do it because he does seem to favor that street. They can try it again.
They could definitely try it again.
Yeah, eventually he's going to hit a dead end with the way he's been driving. There's really no rhyme or reason to
I
it,
think
really.
she is right. Eventually,
all
if you
these
keep
small
driving
little
in these
streets that he's
neighborhoods,
picking,
if you
it
keep
just
going
doesn't
down
make sense.
residential
And
streets,
at
you
one
will
point
hit
he
a
even
dead
drove
end.
into
I've
an
seen
alley.
this so many
And,
times before, man.
maybe
I've
he
seen
got
this
lucky, or
movie.
maybe he knew where he was, but he
I
was
know
able
the
to drive
script.
right out of that. So at this point, back on Garfield, that's one
Brain,
street he
I
does
appreciate
like. Garfield,
you.
He likes Whittier Boulevard.
I
So he
know
does like
how
some of
you
these
feel.
major streets. He'll go on those.
If I had something
several
important to
times
do
for
right
these
now,
small
I'd still be
streets.
doing
It's
this.
basically one and done. He'll get on it. And then,
Once you get it, like,
just go through
that's the
another
fun thing
super
about
fast
these,
route.
really, is once you get invested, you just got to know how it ends, you know? Like, I don't care that this chase is not very exciting. You
Yeah,
got to
how
know
did
at this
you-
point, how is it going to
Yeah,
end?
Shell gas station.
Oh, no.
There's no way he's going to try to get gas. There's
Okay.
absolutely No way, no how. Yeah, we have. Yeah, surprisingly, yeah, we have. But it's usually in situations where the driver's in surveillance mode, where there's no units directly behind
Yeah.
them, so they know they have
Seen
time.
it plenty of times where
In
they
this
stop and
case,
actually
this guy
do
has
get gas.
absolutely no time. These CHP officers are not giving
In
him
this
much
case, you're
in the
not
way
gonna
of
make
room,
that
so
happen.
Definitely not enough time to try to get gas in the vehicle. Now, could he try to carjack someone? That's a possibility. If this
Don't give him
person
any
is armed,
ideas,
it's not out
Eliana.
of the question. But lots of twists and turns here as he continues to make his way here. through
Another
Monterey.
parking lot. Eventually, you go in these parking lots over and over, you end up hitting a dead end, too. Like, you get in these, eventually, something's going to happen where you can't get out.
Yeah, usually they're not that tight. So I would venture to say it's possibly because of the weaponed element. They don't want to give this guy too much room where they could possibly lose him. But again, they have a
Yeah,
helicopter
Jeff, I don't think he
overhead. I
wanted to
caught
go
it
into that
mentioned
gas
earlier. It
station,
is
but
the
there was
CHP
traffic at the
helicopter. Now,
stoplight,
they
so
come
he
out of
pulled in
Fullerton,
there.
So until they got overhead, it was the sheriff's department, but now they made their way out of Fullerton and they're here now. And coming under the freeway again. So he's
Yeah, the speed. He doesn't care about the speed bumps. I'm wondering as he hits these speed bumps, like, is he hitting the? Is he hitting the, like, the front of the vehicle, you know, the bumper onto the ground, or? I'm surprised he hasn't gotten back on the freeway at all. Like, he just kept going back and forth on the freeway for a while, and now he just doesn't seem interested in doing that again. Had plenty of chances. But my prediction here is that he will run into a dead end. Hey, Beal, what's up? I wish I could go show up there.
Quick. So I last counted 6, and I'm still seeing about 6. So 6 units of the CHP behind him. And because it is
Yeah,
the
he should go
CHP,
downtown,
they're
right?
the police of our highways all along California. So
I don't
the
think he's
way
very
that
close
works
right now,
is
though.
essentially
Somebody who
these
knows
guys will
LA
stay on it as long as they
geography can
If
tell
they
me,
were to
but
have a mechanical issue with their vehicle,
Monterey
or
Park, how
they're
close is
running out
that to
of gas,
downtown?
They can easily bring
He's in the
another
valley
unit
right now. He can't be
from,
very close,
whatever
right?
area we're in. So right now, since we're in Monterey Park, that would be the East LA section of the LA County or of the CHP. So they could easily
About
bring
20
one of the
minutes,
units over
10
and have it
miles.
swap out. So
20
at this
minutes.
point,
Thank you,
with the
Beal.
CHP
Thank
being
you,
on it, they can stay on it
Adrian.
forever. because they can just constantly swap out vehicles. And as he enters a new area, so let's say he were to head over towards the downtown LA area, then there's different units over there. That would be the
Hey, Eliana called it
the
there too.
central
Let's say he
division
does.
of the California Highway Patrol that could then get behind the vehicle. So they can go much longer than this guy ever can with just his single tank of gas.
That's true. Time is not on your side.
Yeah, so he's back on Garfield.
The police may not forcibly stop you or, you know, pit you, anything like that, but time is on their side, man. They can spend all fucking night doing this. You cannot. They can follow you forever if they feel like it.
Really interesting. Almost like he's just out for a cruise.
Head into the hills, yeah.
Oh yeah, well over an hour and a half, and it's unclear how much gas he started out with. And the other point I brought up earlier is we don't know how long he's been driving this car in terms of days.
We have no
And is
idea.
this a situation where he stole this a while ago and has been
I mean,
driving it as if he owns it?
I'm sure the
Or
police
is it
know
a
that,
situation where
but we
perhaps
don't.
The rightful owner left the car running and this guy just saw an opportunity and jumped in. So that part is unclear, and that obviously could
Yeah,
come into
parking
play
structures
with
could be
how
good, but
much
man, when you
gas
have
could
the
potentially
parking
have.
structure
But
thing generally
been a
works when the
good
police
hour
aren't
30,
directly
hour
behind you.
40,
If the
with
police are
no
directly
signs of
behind you,
that.
what the fuck? They're going to pull in right behind you. You can't do shit. If the police are in tracking mode, you pull into one, maybe they won't show up for 2 minutes, and you got 2 minutes to get lost.
And
But
continuing residential area of Monterey
in
Park,
this case, man, he doesn't
Grand
have a
Ridge
lot of
Avenue
options.
at Punta Way.
He could go
Slightly slower
try
vehicle
to,
there, so he's
like,
just gonna work his way
I
around
don't
that
know, man.
park.
There's not much he can do, to be honest with you. There's not much. He could try to go places where he could lose the helicopter, but they're right behind him. There's plenty of ways he could go lose the helicopter, but if you got the cops right behind you, there's not much you're going to be able to do.
You see the compass there, so kind of in a southern
Woods
direction
near,
through this
you just run
residential
into the
area.
woods.
And again, we're in Monterey Park.
That
He
could
seems
work.
to like Monterey Park. We've been in Monterey Park. We've been in East Los Angeles a bunch. Touch of Montebello.
Yeah, that's
but for
true,
the most
Beal.
part, it seems like he seems to be, yeah, just a sprinkle of Montebello.
Just a little Montebello.
Exactly, and considering that this didn't start in Monterey Park, normally we would think that he would try to return to an area where this started, which would be San Bernardino.
Wood
County
said he could
with,
go down a
Rancho
manhole.
Cucamonga, to be exact, but he really has made no effort since we've been overhead to try to head eastbound, northeast, really, to be exact. He's essentially
Yeah,
just
they
staying
heard Ghost
in
Gun.
these residential neighborhoods of Monterey Park.
He's not trying very hard to get away, you know? Like, all right, so here's the thing. If he was driving extremely fast and reckless, they'd have to back off, right? I mean, they don't have to, but that certainly would be possible, would be likely. So if he was driving really crazy right now and they had to say, all right, we've got a helicopter, we're just going to follow him from the air. Well, then you would have potential to hide in a parking structure or, you know, dump somewhere, right? But if you're not driving very fast, they're not going to stop following directly behind you.
absolutely,
And
because
if they don't stop following
if
directly
you
behind you,
are
you have
on
very
that
little
distance,
option to
without
actually
any
get away.
felony, warrants or any crime in your record, you're able to buy a gun. That's just the way it works. You just go through the back.
Was
Exactly.
that the
Yeah,
same gas station?
you
It
would
looked
be
like it.
rightfully, able to buy a gun after a background check, a 10-day hold. But oftentimes,
Oh,
people
shit,
who
Beal, that'd
are
be some
not legally
movie
allowed
shit.
to buy guns, so someone who perhaps has a felony on their record, they can turn to ghost guns and essentially just manufacture a gun at home by buying the 50% lower. They used to sell them online without a serial number. You could essentially buy the parts, buy a parts kit, and build your own gun. So essentially, you could potentially be a felon in possession of a gun, which is
Just like
obviously
Build-A-Bear,
highly
but build a
dangerous,
gun.
highly illegal. We don't know what this
Same
person's
shit.
history is that would
Uh-oh.
that would lead
Is he going to
him
stop again with a
outlawing.
tree in the way?
And
Okay.
It's also unclear how it is that officers know this.
Yeah, Eliana is giving you a lesson on how to get a gun
somebody
if you're a
called and
felon.
said that this person possibly had a ghost gun.
She does know a
So
lot
whether
about
it's a
this.
ghost gun or whether it's
She knows an awful lot about it. She was saying some shit earlier. I was like, how do you know all
Gun
that?
is a gun, and so they have to be very careful when this pursuit comes to a stop, and even in just the pursuit tactics. That's why we haven't seen a pit maneuver. It would simply be too dangerous with.
Yeah, Heather said, you know,
possibly with
Eliana
this person
built
possibly
mad
being
guns in her
armed,
garage.
to put the officers in a situation where they could
Eliana
possibly
is a
be able to
DIY gun
hood
enthusiast, we
nose-to-nose
have
with an
learned.
armed person.
We are at 1 hour. We are at 70 minutes. So this whole prediction thing at 75 minutes, it's looking pretty likely right now. Eliana's an arms dealer. Yeah, Eliana's
that's
a
correct. So I
gangster.
think they might just be going off of the tip in terms of whether or not he has that ghost gun. But I just saw a hubcap go flying.
They
There we
have
go. I
spiked
believe
him.
there's the
Yo,
front
and
tire.
that fucking
So
shut
my
the car down
intelligence caller was
fast.
just telling me he heard
Yo.
over the helicopter radios that there was a successful spike strip and that it
Yo.
was starting to affect the tire. So it might have happened there in the residential neighborhood. It
I
was
didn't
a little
even
dark
see
to
it.
see,
But that wheel is
did
fucking
run over
gone
that spike
now.
strip, and that did have an impact
Okay.
on at least
Well,
that
shit.
front driver's side tire. It's down to the rim.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you could keep
that has
driving.
brought the vehicle to a stop.
It's
Even
not-
though the
it's still
pursuit is over,
possible to
of
drive
course,
the
but at
car.
least the vehicle has come to a stop. We're
We've
at
seen it
Garfield
before.
and San Clemente.
But that wheel
Take
just
the map
fucking
off
went.
there,
The whole
and, you
tire's
can see
gone.
Officers here with their guns drawn. Let me widen out the shot real quick. Lots of units. So what looks
That was crazy. I mean, it seemed to me like it just happened suddenly, but apparently we just missed the spike strip.
Yeah, so we're at Garfield Avenue, which is of course.
I mean, I'm
the major
surprised he
viewing
didn't
area.
keep
We're at
trying to
San
drive.
Clemente.
Like he
And
could
so
still
this is
drive.
an
I know
area,
this.
a
I've seen it
business
happen a
area
million
with
times.
commercial buildings,
You can drive
strip
without
malls as
one of
well.
your tires. You could drive without two of your
Agents
tires.
the California Highway Patrol that is,
What
that
do
are
you do if they
behind
start
this,
shooting? I
driver
just
now.
well,
And you see
Eliana
that one officer
zooms
that is
out,
blinking
so
his
she would try to
lights
help me
very
out with that.
quickly, to
But
put
I would
direction
probably
of
end
the
my
vehicle.
stream and then
He's just trying to blind him.
delete my
That's
VOD.
really all he's trying to do. He's trying to blind him so that when he looks in his rear view mirrors, he can't
But
see these
Eliana's conscious
officers
of that
and he
usually.
can't see their weapons,
So they don't wanna
drawn
show
in
that
his
either.
direction. So they're trying to confuse him. They're just trying to have that upper hand on this person, and they can easily just do it.
Loose
with a
tires
flashlight.
on
So
our
what they're
bingo
doing
card too.
now
We got
is
quite a
they're
bit.
making these call outs. They can really slow things down though. There's really no rush. So what they'll do is they'll make call outs. As I said before, they'll do them in both Spanish and English. And the first thing they'll ask for is the keys. They want to see the keys, so they want him to throw the keys out. And at least once he does that, they know
Yeah,
that
that's a
he
good
won't be
point.
able to drive away.
That light
He'll try
went
to run
off.
away. But if he
The
tries
light
to
got
run away,
fucked.
look who's waiting for him. There's the police K9. Yeah, so K9 is on scene as we were mentioning before.
K9,
He wasn't
what?
here the last time
She
he
keeps
stopped,
saying that, but it's like
now that he stopped a second time, that K9 is
the
here
dog
and
can't
ready
open the
to
door. All right,
deploy.
if he gets
If
out of the
services are
car,
needed,
he's
they
hopefully
will
gonna
threaten him
surrender.
with
I
it.
mean,
If he refuses to come out voluntarily, they will say, "Hey, we've got the police dog here. If we let him go, he's gonna bite you, and it's gonna hurt." And as I
if
was
you
saying
refuse to
before,
come out, we're
sometimes
gonna
just
have
the
our dog
threat
come and
alone
open that fucking
is
door.
enough for these
We
drivers
don't
to
care if you
surrender.
lock it. This is superhuman dog. Oh, good point. Good advertisement for the scholarship fundraiser dinner and dance. He's gonna bite the door off of the fucking car. Yeah, DJ, the nose win. I
Very well
really
could,
don't
because it
think
does
he's gonna
take
start
them,
driving
some
again this time.
to be effective. And the only one I know.
But hey,
was
we'll
the
wait,
one on
'cause he
Whittier
did it
Boulevard, but
before.
I know he dodged that, but he likely didn't dodge one after that, and I just was oblivious to when it happened. But I'm just
Yeah,
pushing
he's
in
not
right now,
right.
because I can see that he's moving around a lot, and I'm ready to widen out.
I think
if
he's
need
I
be,
think
but
he's
you can
jamming.
see that the driver
Right? Like I
is,
think he's listening to music.
somewhat
Yeah, he is,
erratic,
right? For
moving
sure.
both
He's
hands,
rapping along to
kind
some
of
music.
nonsensically.
Yeah, he's tweaking.
Yeah, really not.
Yeah, maybe
showing
it's my song. Speaking of that, you should go fucking listen to that.
Middle right, Jim. Yeah, so that's a great way to describe him. It does look like he's kind of dancing, just moving around a lot, but it's unclear what his state of mind may be, if he's under the influence of anything. By his driving, I wouldn't think that he was. He drove very well for someone that would be under the influence. But hands on his face, as you said, kind of moving around a lot, throwing out the peace sign. But officers, they're just trying to take this guy into custody. They have their guns drawn right at him easily. I want to say.
All right, I posted
at least
links to my
8
new song in
weapons,
both of my
both
chats.
lethal and less
Check
than
it out,
lethal,
listen to it.
as well as the police dog there on standby. So what will happen now is usually they won't just go in there and try to drag
It's a
the
rock
guy
song.
out. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll deploy less than lethal rounds into the weapon, something like beanbag rounds or pepper ball rounds, to try to break a window. And sometimes that scares the person out of the car.
He's under
sometimes
the
it
influence of
doesn't,
Dre.
but that would be at least a way for officers to get access to the person if the windows are broken. I've also seen situations where they'll just walk right up to the car and using a shield, one of the officers will then use his baton to break the window.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
won't do
another
that
option,
for
that they have.
another like 45 minutes at least. I mean, she's right. They eventually do some shit like that sometimes, but in this scenario, they may never do that. And if they're going to, it won't be for quite a while. What's more likely is that they would bring in an armored SWAT vehicle.
Yeah, in California, you're not allowed to have any front windows tinted. In this case, all of the windows except for the front one appear to be tinted, which is why we really couldn't get a good look inside. But at least now we can see. Yeah, very dark, but at least now we can see that there's no front passenger. So we know that at least. Doesn't mean that there isn't anyone in the back, but at least no front passenger, and the driver does appear to be a male. And then in terms of the car, I was describing it as a Nissan Rogue. I'll stick with that. It does kind of look like a Nissan Rogue type.
Yeah, I think it is a Nissan. SFO, what's up? Or Yogi, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is a major street here through the area. And
Tim, I hope
you
you're right.
Actually have some
I hope
here
he's
that are
listening to the
coming out
Chronic.
see what's going on. Of course, you never want to do that. It does put you in danger. And in terms of traffic here through the area, it's actually not that bad right now because drivers are just simply U-turning or going through the shopping center to get around the traffic here. But let me get you this. This is going to be the 60 freeway. So yeah, so 60 freeway at Garfield is going to be the nearest, biggest locator. And in terms of how long they can wait, I mean, they can really wait all day.
Chris, what's up?
Time is on the side of the officers. What they can do is make those calls to what would be the SWAT team, or in this case, they would probably bring out the Special Enforcement Bureau. And they can
Yeah,
bring out
now
their
we got a
bear
whole
guns around this
whole
guy,
party of
bring
people out
crisis
here.
Negotiators if needed to try to get this guy to surrender. But usually, before we get to that level, they may try less than lethal rounds into the vehicle first.
It's a hood-ish area.
Yeah, let me push in here. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. So yeah, I'm seeing some CHP units, but because we are in Montebello, we can get Montebello police out here.
I'd
as
definitely
well.
be out there watching
And,
this shit.
They would likely be
If I was near
control
here,
more
I'd be
than
out there
anything.
watching.
These are CHP officers, but here's Montebello. Okay, so there you go. So CHP along with Montebello police on scene. Montebello will stay out of the arrest portion of it since this wasn't their pursuit, but they'll at least help with the traffic control through the area.
He is acting hoodish, yeah. This whole entire thing. Yeah, he probably will. Programmer Jeff, he probably will. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, it sure does look like
He's
it.
probably
It
just going to
looks
open
like
the door and give up
a
at some
strip
point.
mall of
But
some sort with lots of tiny shops, and you've got a 99-cent store not far away. You've
Wait,
got Jack in the Box.
shots?
And then on the other side of the street
What?
is actually, I think we're going to enter
What?
some. Actually, that's the golf course. Yeah, so that's the golf course. So at least there, you're not going to have really anyone there now that it's nighttime. It's too dark. But the businesses themselves are still open. I think we're actually right outside of a restaurant. So there you go. We're right outside of a Mexican restaurant. So this is an area that.
Did they
has
fire
people in it.
non-lethal?
You saw the vehicles there in that parking lot.
Into the
but
vehicle? They may
fortunately,
have.
The way the parking is for these businesses, it's on the back side and not on the front side where this pursuit termination
Is it?
taking
No,
place.
it doesn't look like it. But he's getting out. Doesn't look like they broke the front windshield, though. Or the front
They
door.
typically, yeah, here he comes. Yeah, so driver door opening. I'll
Or
wait
maybe
back
they
here for
did.
just a moment. But all officers are typically equipped, of course,
They
with their
did?
service weapon. They usually have
How
a
did you
backup
guys know
weapon,
that?
And they'll have a rifle in their squad
You watching a
cars.
different channel?
And I believe that not all of them have less than lethal, but there are officers with
What is
less
he
than
doing
lethal,
right now?
Guns here now. Okay, so he's stepping out.
Shots is in camera shots?
Appears to be complying, so I'll zoom in a little bit more.
Is that a woman?
And the person is waving. That is not what they're asking
It
him to
is.
do, of course. But out
Is
of the
it?
vehicle at least, hands up.
No, maybe not. I
slowly
can't fucking
making,
tell.
His way back towards the officers.
Like, it's got a little style in there.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's old person. They just have like a beanie on.
Walking back in the direction of the officers.
There you go.
They'll move in for the arrest. They will, of course, search his person and make sure that there's nothing on him that could possibly harm any of the officers. And then you'll see another team of officers approach the vehicle because they still have to clear it. They have to make sure that nobody is inside.
Okay.
They'll typically pop the trunk as well to make sure nobody is
Very
hiding back
peaceful
there.
ending. Very simple.
So that's what they're doing now. They're coming to the
Person
trunk.
just wanted to chill in the car. And
And it looks like we got
You
the
know-
code 4. So I just saw that officer do the number 4 with his hand. That means that all clear. So nobody else is in the vehicle. This person is
Okay,
the
go listen to
only
my song
person that
now.
was inside. I believe it's a man. It's kind of hard to
It's
tell
really
with,
good, I
with
swear
the
to
beanie
God.
That, the person is wearing. But
it'll take up
again,
4
all
minutes of your
ending here
time.
in Montebello, pursuit that started out in Rancho
Yeah, no
Cucamonga
windows
of a
broken.
possible stolen car with a person who
Lasted
was
75
possibly
minutes. It
armed.
did not.
Ends here on Garfield Avenue with a cross.
I mean, my
7.
stream did, but the chase did not. All right, so if we're gonna raid over to one of the Simp Mafia streams, what one should we raid over to? Yeah, thank you guys for watching with me. I appreciate it. Raid CM. Thank you guys. Go listen to that song. Please do. Click on that YouTube link. Listen to the fucking song. I won't force you to listen to it with me right now. I'm going to expect you to go and do it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Merle. You got bigger things to do now. CM made it out of the airport. CM is actually at a bar right now. You want me to see the clip? All right, hold on. Hold on.
Let's have a test from the
Where
top.
is it? Hold on.
Yes, they did.
Damn it.
See me? Yeah, yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Ain't no more scamming.
Yeah. Told you guys. Told you guys this is gonna happen. We've been talking about it for 9 months, okay? He's here right before your eyes. All right? That is him.
Okay. We're going to go over there. Okay. Everyone, thank you for watching this chase with me. I appreciate you. Yeah. I make music. Oh, gee, thank you so much for listening. I got more music coming out soon. We've been working on it. We got some good people helping me out here in Nashville. Very talented people. Saltstorm, thank you. Yep, let's go to Vegas. Hey, guys, tomorrow I will be live on Twitch for some IRL streaming in Las Vegas. So come and watch me do dumb shit in Vegas. Okay. See you later. Copy that message and go paste it in CM's chat. Okay.